Hello, welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. In the headlines today, grief-stricken parents slam the council's heartless clampdown on graves.
The baby in front of me sadly was born asleep. I just think this people's children, babies, mums, dads in here. Obviously when it comes to the matter it's quite upsetting. I don't think they should be doing this really.
And puppets that are crossing international boundaries. Our guest talks to me about the gastronauts. But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, a new Tesco Express is facing opposition from residents of Bargate in Grimsby, and people may no longer be able to park on grass verges in the local area. Opposition to a proposed Tesco Express at the Old Conservative Club in Bargate now has signatures in the hundreds from local residents. The supermarket chain could see the current building, which is unoccupied, changed to a Tesco Express branch for the local residents. Clover Swale is a representative of the local Bargate residents. She's opposed to the development.
Well, the reasons why hundreds of people locally object to this proposed development range from reasons of conservation through to road safety and simple reason that we don't feel we need another convenience store in this area. From a conservation perspective, this magnificent Victorian villa stands in the heart of the Wellow Conservation Area on the leafy thoroughfare, which is Bargate, which is really one of our most attractive entrances to the town. We're certainly not against developing this building. We would love to see this building developed into flats, into a care home, into offices, or even into something for the community like a community centre. We know for a fact that there are developers in this area very interested in looking at these sorts of ideas, particularly a residential development. And we don't feel that they've really had the opportunity so far to investigate those options.
In a statement to Estuary TV, a Tesco spokesman said it's a great opportunity to bring the building back into use, provide a service to the community and create jobs. We're keen to ensure proposals fit in with the area's character and welcome feedback, as we're conscious about being a good neighbour. Tesco has also said they are willing to engage with the objectors to the proposal. A virus which caused 2 ward closures in Scunthorpe Hospital 2 weeks ago is now causing problems for more staff. Wards 16 and 17 were closed at the beginning of September for a few days each, and now Ward 23 is closed to admissions due to an outbreak of diarrhoea and vomiting. Dr. Peter Cowling, the Trust consultant microbiologist, said that the infection control team are providing regular and frequent disinfection. Once again, visitors who have been suffering symptoms are being advised to not come to work until they have been symptom-free for 48 hours. A woman's body has been found at an area just south of the dunes in Anderby Creek, which is near Skegness. The body was discovered at 7 a.m. by a dog walker on Monday. A post-mortem will take place in due course. The death is currently being treated as unexplained until more information is known. New figures released by the housing charity Shelter show that first-time buyers are helped by an average of £23,000 by their parents. Their research also shows that 60% of parents in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire can't save money for their children's future. The research also showed that 70% of the housing in our area is unaffordable for the average working family looking to buy their first home. The charity is calling for politicians to commit to building more affordable homes. Police are investigating a collision between a motorcycle and a car which happened in Newport, East Yorkshire at 20 to 6 on Wednesday the 10th of September. It is alleged that a blue Jaguar nudged a motorbike which was trying to overtake a number of cars, nudging the rear reflector and the footrest of the bike. A member of the public did stop to speak to the biker, having seen the altercation, but did not leave his details. Police would like to speak to anyone with information about the incident, and they can get in contact with them by calling 101. An Immingham councillor is calling for parking enforcement powers to be devolved to the town council. A temporary ban on verge parking trialled in Waltham, New Waltham and Immingham was yesterday made permanent by North East Lincolnshire Council. Cabinet Member for Environment David Watson has hailed the scheme a great success, but Immingham Town councillors are less than satisfied. The council handed out 643 parking charges in the 3 areas between March last year and this August, but only 107 were in Immingham, around 17%. Former Mayor of Immingham, Brian Duke, says they've not been properly enforced and wants enforcement powers handed to Immingham Town Council.
How do you enforce a ban on verge parking when the enforcement team are based in Grimsby? I think the problem is that as soon as we find someone who's transgressing this, we ring up the enforcement team, and by the time they come out, then the person who's got the van or the car on the verge has disappeared.
It's been a success. We just need to beef up a little bit on the enforcement, but it's protecting green spaces, protecting grass verges.
That's all from me. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now, next on the show, families have been told to remove decorations from the graves of their loved ones. North East Lincolnshire Council say it's about safety, but some have vowed to fight their demands, and more than 2,000 people have now signed the Leave Our Babies' Graves Alone petition online. I went to Scartho Cemetery to meet some of the grief-stricken parents involved. This section of the cemetery is for children who never grew up. And far from untidy, these graves are pristine, carefully nurtured by parents who will never forget.
We come every day to make sure that it's all tidy. We polish her headstone. We take a lot of effort into it, and she's our loved one and we miss her every day, so we just come every day without fail.
But now they've been told the perfect tributes they've so painstakingly picked for their lost loved ones don't meet regulations, so they'll have to remove them.
We buy the plot of land, I tend to it every day, and they're now dictating to me how I should have it.
I was disgusted, really devastated, really upset me.
The council refused an interview, saying they stand by their original statement. Cabinet Member for Environment, Councillor David Watson, said, "We realise that it can be upsetting for families to be asked to change a loved one's grave. However, the regulations are there to ensure we have a safe and well-kept environment for all who visit the cemetery. But these families say there is nothing unsafe about the graves, and all the council have done is cause unnecessary hurt and worry."
If it was overgrown and causing an issue, then yes, but it's not. I'm here every day and it's well looked after. So
We're in torture every day anyway, and it's just added onto our pressure of losing her. I mean, if we didn't take care of the resting place and it was a mess and that, then they have got something to complain about. But because we're here every day, clean, making sure it's tidy, it just upsets us even more, because it's like, it's not that something you forget, it's every single day you think of your loved ones, and it just adds to it.
They've started a petition which has amassed more than 2,000 signatures in less than a week. Laura thinks the council has underestimated the public's reaction.
it's ridiculous, and it's causing a lot more heart and upset than what I think they initially thought it would do. But why they'd think anybody would just bow down to it and say, yeah, I'll take it off, it's no worry. We wouldn't have it like that if we didn't want it like that.
Few cases are more emotive than those of parents who have lost a child. But this campaign has wider support. It affects sons, daughters, husbands and wives, none of whom are willing to compromise when it comes to the memory of someone important to them. James Dunn, Estuary TV News. Next on the show, we have more guests than ever before. These are the gastronauts, who are even handier than your average puppet. They're designed for children with colostomy bags to help them explain their conditions to other children and give them a friend as well. And as well as them, we've also got Judith Sperling. Hello Judith, thank you very much for coming in today. So tell me, you're the UK representative for a company. What's the name of your charity?
International Children's Ostomy Educational Foundation.
And the aim of your charity is to help spread awareness about ostomy conditions, isn't it?
Yes, especially in the Hull and East Yorkshire and East Lincolnshire. We've started with Hull spreading out, and then the more we get known, the more awareness, then the more we'll spread across the UK. But
and what sort of conditions are we talking about when we say ostomy conditions?
We are talking about any child who has a bowel or bladder diversion. This may be because of illness or because of the hereditary or born with problems that are sorted out, and these puppets.
And you believe that we don't hear a great deal about these conditions. Why do you think that that is?
Because it's below the belt, basically. You can't see it, so you don't know. You could walk into a room and you wouldn't know how many people in there would have an ostomy or colostomy or any of the diversions we do, because you can't see it.
And I suppose the point of these puppets here, these wonderful puppets that you've got, is to make it easier for children to tell, particularly other children. I imagine it's a bit distressing for a child who has got a condition, because it's not easy being different when you're young, is it?
No, it isn't, but we were talking about this the other day, and we said that by the time the children become adults, it'll be us that haven't got one of these that are different.
Right.
Not them. I mean, it won't be because of the numbers, but that's how we would like to think that they're the same as us. It's just they have a different way of their digestive system working.
Now, it's interesting because you actually came to see us nearly a year ago now, when you were just getting these off the ground and introducing them to people. You'd sold hundreds maybe back then. Now it's a different story, isn't it?
Yes, we have never actually sold them.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. What we do is we offer them to the children. We raise the funds, we offer them to the children. Then we ask the parents if they will give a donation to the next child.
Yeah. And you find that people often do, don't they?
People do. They're more than, but it's if you have a parent who cannot give them, okay, we say it's only £15. But if you've got a child and you're backwards and forwards to Leeds or the other hospitals,
could be a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and £15 is a lot of money to some people.
So you never turn a child down?
We never turn a child down. You can't.
And back when you last came in I don't know if it was November or December time, maybe, well, hundreds had gone out. Now it's thousands, isn't it?
It's thousands.
And everywhere.
We've done over 700 in this area. We've recently had an order through from Canada, 53. But the thing is that in other countries, they are sponsored by the health authority or by the ostomy. Here in the UK, there isn't anything like that. There are for adults, but not for children.
No.
But that's the way of the world, and that is how it is in the UK.
But you did manage to get a grant, didn't you, which allowed you to expand the programme?
Yes, we got a grant from Healthier Hull. We actually got the money in January, which has enabled us to buy more puppets and get more different procedures done onto them. These are all done by volunteers.
It's interesting actually when you talk about different procedures, because these puppets are not all the same, are they?
No.
Some of them have got different conditions, and
Yes.
that will help children to
They
relate to them.
They all come exactly the same, and then we can fit. For example, this one has a catheter on it.
Yeah.
We could put a bag the same as this one has.
And so these bags represent the bags that the children
Bags
have.
that the children have. But because we can't do it with these, but because they're underneath their clothes, you could walk into a classroom.
And Shemi, where do they put the bags? Because they put their own bags
They
inside
put their
these,
own
don't they?
bags on. Their bags are done exactly the same.
Yeah.
All this comes off. I won't pull it off now.
Okay.
But all of it comes off so they can replace it. We had one girl in the Isle of Man, she had one of these. She went to a nurse and said, right, can you put a cross? And she then had her own bag, and she was practicing before she had her operation done.
Oh, wow.
So by the time she'd had her operation done.
So it helps them get used to it
Gets
before
used to
they
it.
actually...
Yeah.
And so you've not just got bags as well. You mentioned that this young...
This one, Daisy, has a catheter.
Yeah.
For her
And you've also got a feeding tube as well, haven't you? Oh,
yes,
sorry,
this
that's
one's
Daisy.
Daisy's got a feeding tube as well.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call it a day here.
Yes,
but
fine.
Just to also, you've got a fundraising event coming up,
Yes.
and that's at the Hull Ritz, isn't it?
Yes, right, on
And
Holdings Road.
we'll put details of that on our Facebook page.
Lovely.
But we have run out of time, I'm afraid, Judith. Don't forget that if you've got any news for us, get in touch by calling 01472 315 561, or you can get in touch via Facebook or social media, Twitter. Bye for now.